Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Coachable Moments. I am your host, Pat GPT, and I wanted to take a moment and create this episode to talk with you guys about growth and look at it from the perspective of how uncomfortable growth is. And to frame this conversation, I want to ask, have you thought about where you were this time last year or the year before that? Have you taken a moment to look back at how far you have come, how much you've grown over the last year or 2 years? It's very easy to look forward, look ahead, look to the future. But what I found is that usually when there is no reflection, there may be very little appreciation for how much you've grown over the last 12 to 24 months. Most people that achieve some type of accolade, I'm seeing that there's not a lot of time given to even appreciate what's been accomplished before they look forward to the next thing. Most people that get their bachelor's degree, for example, and I'm guilty of it because I did it myself. When I completed my associate's degree, I didn't take time to think about what I had accomplished. I looked forward to completing my bachelor's degree. And when I got the bachelor's degree, I thought about it for about 10 minutes, and I was on my phone looking up the prerequisites for my master's degree, what classes I was going to have to take in order to complete that. And quite often people do that with other life milestones. For example, once we get promotions on our job, we may go out and have a celebratory dinner with the people that we care about. And even during the dinner, we're thinking about the next promotion. Before we even get a moment to think, to work in the role for a while, we're already thinking, what certifications do I have to get? How many letters of recommendation will I need in order to get the next promotion? And, looking at growth as just a focal point, growth is uncomfortable a lot of the times. And from time to time, it may not be uncomfortable when you look at, things that you want to do, such as, getting a degree or getting a promotion on your job. That's a voluntary situation that you put yourself in. But when it comes to matters of life, sometimes we go through ups and downs, disappointments, and those moments are shaping us for a future version of ourselves that we haven't gotten to yet. But we look at it as something that may be hurting us, even though it's adding to us in ways that we can't understand at the present time. It's the uncomfortableness that comes with evolving in life. We're going to a different place, hopefully a better place, a higher level of living, and that comes with a lot of sacrifice. And I was talking with a friend earlier today about being at a certain level or a certain position in life, and oftentimes we'll look at it from a negative standpoint, because we may not be where we want to be. And I know even right now during the holiday season, people are stressed. They're unhappy because for whatever reason, they're in a position that may not be the desired position to be in. They may not have the money to buy all the gifts they want to buy and things like that. But there's a reason why you're in the position that you're in. Maybe it's, to take some time to think and adopt that attitude of gratefulness. Because when you do that, it creates a different energy inside of your body, just being grateful for what you do have instead of looking at everything that you don't have. And When you go out to the stores and the malls right now, you're seeing people just filling up their shopping carts with all kinds of toys and, baskets full of food and everything. And it's like, you may not be able to do that. You may be in a position where all you can afford to buy is a gift card for someone. And it's nothing wrong with that, because that's exactly where you're supposed to be at the present time. And it's for a reason. Maybe it's to reflect on how you've managed your finances over the last 12 months. Maybe you didn't do a good job. It's not the end of the world, but maybe you look back and say, man, I blew so much money. I could have done things a whole lot better. And if I had done that, then I would be like those people to the point that I could be filling my baskets up with things. So it's a lesson learned for a lot of people. So I would say that, nothing happens just to happen. There's a reason behind it. And for those that can't or don't feel that they can enjoy the holidays right now because of financial shortages, there is so much beauty in just the simple things. Most people don't value the simple things anymore. I heard a podcast today, and the guy was saying if somebody would just get me a card, I would be ecstatic with that. And I'm that way too. I'm not really big on material things or big fancy brand name gifts. That doesn't mean anything. I like the thought and the consideration that goes into the gift itself. And it may be something that I say it throughout the year that would mean a lot to me. Those are things that really matter. It's not the fact that it costs $3,000 or $5,000 or anything like that. Just the fact that you listened to something I said that I would like, and the consideration of going to get that thing, whether it's $5 or $500. It's just the fact that you considered something that I said. So I would say, during the holiday season, where if you're in that position of where the stress is piling on because you can't do the things that you want to do, dial it back. Really take a moment to sit in who you are, how good your heart is, how you desire to do things for people. And you may not be able to do it today, but you will be. It's a lesson that you have to learn, and it may be something that needs to be revealed to you at this present time. And if you had the money to do it, you may not receive the lesson or the message. So don't look at it as if you're being punished and that your life is not good or it's not fair that you don't have what everybody else has. It's really not about that, because the walk that you're on and the path that you're on in life is your path. You're not supposed to be like everyone else. You're supposed to be on a journey of your own self-discovery and your own experiences that are unique just to you. And we live in a time where comparison is stealing everyone's joy. We're looking online at how everybody else is celebrating, and the fact that all of the couples have on the matching onesies and we don't have anybody to do that with at the present time. And it may make you feel a little down, a little depressed, even. But there's a reason why you're in the spot that you're in, whether you're single, divorced, separated, whatever the case may be. There's a reason for you to be in that space of isolation. You've been separated for a reason. And that reason is that something has to be developed inside of you. And maybe there were some distractions in the way that was preventing you from getting those lessons. And so you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not being punished in any way. Sometimes we're being separated so that we can be consecrated and built up in ways that we may not have been able to be built up, when we were in our former state. So just realize that if you're going to go higher than where you are right now, there's going to be some levels of discomfort. And, I like, just think about the bodybuilder, for example. If he were to walk in the gym, scrawny, looking like a stick man, would he be justified in thinking that he could go into the gym for 3 or 4 days and come out looking like Mr. Olympia? It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. Neither is it realistic for us, in life to think that we can just microwave ourselves into the best version of ourselves and think that it's going to last. It won't. If it comes fast, it usually leaves fast. So take your time, really take a moment to look at where you are in life and appreciate where you are in life, whether it's good or whether it's bad, in your opinion. I remember, on a prior episode, I talked to you about, being nearly homeless, living in an abandoned house for, a couple of years, and how uncomfortable it was. And during the stay in that location, it was extremely uncomfortable. But when I got to the end and I started to realize that, I was being blessed, even though it felt uncomfortable. I was being able to hear and receive, what I considered a divine download of, God's instruction. And I wouldn't have received that if I was still living in a comfortable way. I had to become uncomfortable in order to receive what I needed to receive for the next time that I was going to be blessed. And so I remember hearing the old people say that you count it all joy. And we've gotten in a state of being to where we only count certain things joy. It's got to feel good or else it's bad. And that's not the case. A lot of times the things that feel bad are adding to us. Just like the bodybuilder, when he goes in the gym, he's got to pick up some weight that's going to hurt. It's going to leave him in pain the next day. He's going to be sore, barely able to walk. But that pain is making him better. And that's the same way life does us. For those that don't work out, you're going through pain as well. But that pain is not to hurt you or to break you down or to punish you. That pain is developing you into a version of yourself that is unbelievable. You just have to stay tuned so that you can see the finished product when it's time to be revealed. So I just wanted to deposit that into your thoughts today, that growth is uncomfortable, but growth and the uncomfortable aspects of it are necessary in order for you to stand in the fullness of who you're supposed to be. So with that, I'll bring it to a close. I hope that you guys have a beautiful, blessed holiday season, and I look forward to bringing you many more episodes in 2024. Be blessed.